All right, welcome to session 58 of the Brain Project. The Brain Project being a constant formative collection of my thoughts to become a professional speaker. Let's get it started. I don't know, I feel amped this morning. Got a morning call from a friend, which, if you ever feel down, and this might make people feel more down, but let me tell you, getting a call in the morning from a friend who just wants to talk. That's always a good start to your morning, right? Just for fun. I feel good playing some music. Same album again. It's the same album again. It's just that good. Uh, Captain Crunch is weirded out by the fact that I was cooking and dancing. Teaching him a little maramba. He was not easily participating. So one day he'll see him dance. He'll see him with little arms like that probably. All right. Today's topic is well, dorsal sympathetic ventral. Interesting. Because I don't know much about it. So the little that I do know about it is the idea of it. But I like the idea that we can expand further on it. I remember picking it. This one was honestly on the fence of what to pick because um, because I'm not a qualified physician, whatever, to do it. But I think there is a message that you can take from knowing this. So the beginning's not even going to be knowing these three different states, but rather a new step with these three different states. Last time, game with activity, so this time it's going to be just a game. I do not know the demographic as of yet. I do know it was taught to like 11-year-olds, so at the very least, like middle schoolers could understand. But since I don't know much about it, let's start with the best way to learn about it. Deaf int, right over here. Perfect. First one, and first one we're going to need to figure out is Google. Right there. Let's let's look up the dorsal sympathetic and ventral state. I'm going to say this before. Oh, sorry, I didn't start the T. Give me 1 second. Right there. There you go. Uh, Before I even look it up, what I do know about it is that the there's three different states that we go through. I don't even know exactly what that means by state, um, a state of being essentially. But dorsal is the happy state. When you think of happy things like you ace your test, or you find an extra $20 bill, or someone kisses you, you get a phone call in the morning from a friend, right? Those are dorsal. That's a dorsal state. The endorphins, I guess, going into your heads. Um, when you have sympathetic, that's kind of a fight or flight state, right? Something's a little bit scary. It's new. Something reacts to you at the same time. Someone throws something at your head. You react to it instantly. Someone's standing behind the door and you open it up. They're right there. What do? Do you attack? Do you freeze? Do you run away, or do you attack? You react in some way. And ventral, I kind of gave it away, but is the freeze state. That is the so intense and mortifying state that your nerves, everything just lock up and just freeze, standing there. Think about in catastrophic movies where you see the character just standing there looking at it in horror. They're in a ventral state. It's so chaotic, your body doesn't even move, right? It's in so much shock. So that's what I know about it. We're going to look it up right here. Dorsal, sympathetic, ventral. All right, here we go. These terms refer to different parts of the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate, digestion, and sweating. Huh, interesting. So, as I was saying earlier, the dorsal, as it's right there, this is interesting. There are different parts of the body which have this. I had no idea about this stuff. Well, regardless of where it is in it, I was wrong. So I said dorsal, sympathetic, ventral, right? Apparently it's ventral, sympathetic, dorsal. So ventral is what I was talking about as the rest and digest system. It's responsible for calming the body down, reducing the heart rate, promoting digestion. So not exactly a happy feeling, but a more level feeling. Sympathetic is the fight or flight, as I was saying, for mobilizing the body for action, increasing heart rate, sweating, of releasing adrenaline, right? Um, the dorsal state is, and I'll switch these actually, so it'll be VSD. Dorsal state is the extreme stress or danger, basically the freeze response, where you become immobile and unresponsive. Basically, feeling safe and connected, ventral. Sympathetic, getting ready for action, right? Dorsal, completely freezing, shut down. All right, so now that we have those definitions, what I'll do right under it is I'll do action examples, right? I'll give people scenarios where I'll point at a person specifically and be like, you are running down. Okay, ready? You're about to run. Ready? Here we go. Get ready and stop right there. What state are you in right now? Right? Are you ventral, sympathetic, or dorsal? All right. You right here, you are going to fall off the stage and get caught by everybody, trust fall style. Ready? 3, 2, 1, fall. What are you feeling right there? What is that state? Right? Are you ready? You're gonna drink some tea. You're gonna take one big step breath in, one breath out. What state are you in? So give them examples. Finally, of course, raise of hands so they can get their own vernacular of their peers. All right, there, perfect. And while I don't have exactly the message I want to put yet, the VSD, there is a really fun idea that you can take from this. There's a lot of elements that you can take from these things. So there's a lot more, I should say, within looking about it. I can't even say this word right. Autonomic nervous system. Essentially, your nervous system with autonomy. But with it, it opens up a wide level of possibilities when you are able to recognize. And maybe that's where the main message can lead. Oh my goodness, can you even, I don't even think you can see that. That's, God, if I get off the screen, are you even able to see that MM? I can't even see it. Wow, this marker. My markers, they're starting to go, man. Expo's failing me right now. All right, right here. I don't even know why I tried the same marker but a different one. It didn't even do anything either. These will be like maybe for the quotes up on the top, but oh my gosh, that was a double failure. Here we go. Main message is something about what to do with knowing it. My Eternity. Sorry. I'm not going to apologize. It's a good song. So what to do with knowing the VSD, right? And that's essentially what we're going to figure out through just making the format. As you've seen before in the past several sessions, I've been able to just come at it naturally. First thing I actually thought of is a fun icebreaker. I see these icebreakers actually being a fun charades-esque game in a way, where say you get 3 pieces of paper, right, and you choose a random one, and it's ventral, sympathetic, or dorsal, and you've got to make them feel that state, right? It'd be hard to do that with dorsal because that's like extreme stress or danger where you freeze, right? I don't want people to actually get, like their nervous system to be in shock. But with that, I want them to I don't know. If he can't do that, then he can't really do charades. But icebreaker will have something. We'll just keep going, right? We're gonna form it as we go along. Second wind, I see this right here, second wind, being alone, right? Versus the first one being with the person next to you. So it's about a lot more self introspection. You can hear the T right here. Should have gotten it earlier. That's on me. Ooh. Oh my goodness, T, you are hot today. And I do not mean with heat. You just look good. There you go. There's a song with Sierra, fun fact. Which, if you don't know who Sierra is, just by itself, just look at Sierra songs. She was rocking the 2000s. Let me tell you, there was a certain level of music that she just dominated in, and the fact that he made a song with her and used kind of like this beat that it's like a Sierra-esque dancing beat is so good. Just much appreciated hearing a Sierra song again. Probably gonna get demonetized now, 'cause I sang the stupid song. I was humming it, it doesn't count. Here we go. Cheers. Let's see, right here, we have ventral sympathetic dorsal state. I don't know what Captain Crunch is. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just walking back and forth, all weird. Um, but yes, I want the icebreaker to be together with people in a fun way. I should say, kind of, when we're not doing a mass adult conference, I write adult on there, but like, then you think of TED Talks or mass platforms where people are able to actually go speaking on a mass level. Those would be the times you don't really have to do working with the people side by side with you. For every other format, like small team building exercises or classrooms or auditoriums or camp retreats, any of these, very easy. Just get people to do the thing right next to them, right? It's probably most likely I'm not going to be the first person they have met of authority there at whatever place they have been to. They know that they are going to listen to me speak, right? So the thing they want to do, the thing that would help me and also help each other is to just talk to each other, right? I'm giving the opportunity to talk to each other. You don't have to stand there in silence the whole time. That's an easy part. And then, obviously, as you go into it, we're going to settle them down with a why this, right? And this maybe is a good start, right? So we have, of course, we have the mood switch right there. Oh, I cannot spell switch. I think that's happened several times where I spell switch with a TH. Swith is what I spell. Captain Crunch is looking at his photo right now. It's funny. He's like, who's that guy? Number two, elicit. I don't know what word we want to elicit, but we can start with the truth, which is essentially the study that I would have to back up of this information. So let's get into it. What is the truth that I want to find? Because it's not just the ventral sympathetic dorsal state, but rather how it influences people, or rather, I'll tell you this. Well, I'll talk to you about personal experience. I learned this from, it's in the last session, a family friend. It was a friend's parents, right, at this camp. They both taught it, these ventral sympathetic dorsal states, and actually put us in those three states to show us and gave us pieces of paper to write down and everything, just so that we could be aware of it. But specifically, I remember holding onto that paper and seeing a lot. I really love messing with my papers. Just seeing the dorsal states that I had for myself, the things that made me freeze, and realizing wow, like those are like I was being aware of it for the first time. Like those are things that made me freeze, and maybe that's why I remember this lesson so vividly. But the ventral states I kind of already knew. You know, the sympathetic states, it wasn't difficult to think of by any standard. It was a matter of, oh yeah, when someone taps my back, or in any situation where someone calls out my full name, someone like I don't know takes out their belt, right? Something like that. It gets me into whoa, get ready for action, right? I see someone running away, you start getting ready to run. Any of those. So I'm sorry, that was a little extreme. I'm a early 2000s kid. A lot of us were hit by belts, were spanked that way. That's just the reality. Apologies. Um, but that all said, the truth was what I have right here, and the truth of what I found was specifically about the dorsal. And a big thing I discovered within that dorsal is that they're just a piece of paper. I think we had a similar lesson where we're talking about, I'm not sure if it was fears or what it was, but um, the beginning was the idea of it's literally just a piece of paper, right? The only thing that's making it have any power is you. The idea that you have this power. So with the ventral sympathetic and dorsal state, you are able to give these things certain powers. I mean, it's your nervous system essentially. So there's something with it. Oh, I'm close, but I don't know what it is yet. We're gonna keep going, but I'm getting there. All right, something with your nervous system, something where I'm able to do an activity. Oh, sorry, this is not the icebreaker up here. This is the beginning. Something where you're able to be aware of your nervous system and what to do with that. I'm gonna keep writing as I'm thinking about it, kind of voicing my ideas, right? So it's not to say I don't want to make up a new autonomic nervous system. I believe several doctors over several years of several fields all referring to this nervous system as the main three, and that happens in your body. I believe that. So it's just a matter of taking that information and pushing it to another point. But I don't know what that point is just yet. I know the personal journey, right? We have right here the takeaway of the beginning, the new life, what I want to leave them with, and then finally the sticking point. Well, here's the thing. What do I want to leave them with? That's also a good starting point. What do I want to leave this group with knowing? Captain Crunch is look at he's in a wild mood right now. He's all over. Hi. What are you doing? Good. All right. You want to help me out actually? What is a good start to people's lives once they are aware of this ventral sympathetic dorsal state? When I was there, it gave me hope that, for instance, the dorsal state was didn't hold that much power over me. This state of freezing that I have, it was not only few, it was written on a piece of paper. It was as much power as I gave to it. And then once I didn't care about it that much, I didn't give it that much power, it just stopped being that much of a threat in my life. So, how can I have this? I mean, the idea of the ventral system, ready, being the like calming system, is a good source in the sense that it can leave people with knowing what makes them calm, right? Um, realizing what states of calm you're in. It's hard because it's the nervous system. Like this is what's difficult about it. Similar to in our last little mini break session that we had last time, I talked about why I didn't want to choose jealousy and obsession and the idea of speakers, right? Where essentially advisors. We are people that would hope to guide people in a certain ideology, certain point of view, and that's it. I can't sit there and force people to be better, force people to do something about their lives. They have to, right? Similar to this, if I tell you to be aware of your nervous system, you're not really aware of it when you're like in the ventral state. I think about when I have anxiety attacks. I am now at a point where I'm aware of I have an anxiety attack, but I'm not thinking like this is a ventral state. I'm thinking, how do I calm down as fast as possible? How do I get to a safe place now? And the first time it happened, it was like I I need to run. I need to run, get out of this. I need to escape this feeling. So while this is a good point, I'm not seeing just yet. I'll give it a couple more minutes, but this might be the first one where actually I just don't see an answer for. I don't see a certain twist, even a secret sauce that I didn't even write down. Apologies. That I have right here. There's something here, Captain Crunch. You gotta help me out, okay? He's licking himself. That means he's really seriously thinking. The idea of the ventral, sympathetic, and dorsal states. Let me do some more research. How about that? Maybe that'll help me out with thinking, or I can just plagiarize. Who knows, right? Um, but I don't just want to teach them about these states. I want to use these. I want to use these three states with something else. Oh, you want to hop on? There. Look at him. When threatened, goes to the ventral system. Okay. The three states of anxiety. Interesting. I also did take out anxiety a couple times in our mini break because, again, I'm not that qualified to teach anxiety, and he's just making himself comfy, I guess, right here. Hi, Captain Crunch. You wanna hold on my computer for me, or no? Okay. How to identify trauma in your nervous system? Yeah. So this is where I was scared it was heading to, Captain Crunch, and you all there. I was nervous of the fact of even talking about fears, the dorsal state, even specifically, it leads to what most things lead to in terms of fear or not doing things in life, and that is trauma, right? Trauma in some way, shape, or form that has prevented people from doing things in their life, gets people into a free state. And I don't want to do that. So, so I'll leave it with this. I'll say it's very interesting because I didn't really mention it at the beginning of the video, but I was thinking about it actually towards the beginning. I I have 12 left, 12 of these session topics left, and I have 9 speech ideas. So 12, 9. It'd be cool if I got all 21, right? All 21 were perfect speech ideas. At most, I need 6, right? I mean, at the least, I need 6. I want 15 good speech ideas. And with that, I was, thinking actually about this. I want to be a lot more critical in terms of my own speech format and the ideas that I come up with. I want to like push myself to make these speeches even better because the ones that there's options. So why are you staring at me? There's options. So it would make it um, like they have to push over each other in order to be on top of these different speech topics. This one didn't make the mark. That's okay. I think if there is a lesson to be learned in any of this, it's the idea that I'm throwing stuff at the wall, both metaphorically and well, not literally. I'm writing stuff on the wall, and just seeing what sticks. right? I'm seeing what I'm able to turn into a speech, and this one didn't. That's okay. All right. I think I'll still upload this as session 58. It's nice to know that that's possible, but I'm not necessarily disappointed or anything. I didn't want to, abandon this one. I'd like to see where it goes, but it's just not possible, right? I can't think of anything, and maybe in the future might be possible, but as for right now, no. So, you little cutie man, he wants to fall asleep right now on my lap, but that cannot happen. So, I want you to say goodbye to everyone and tell them that it's okay. All right? It takes time, patience. Patience is a virtue. Okay? And to be patient with this. I'm being patient, right? Doing these speeches, things like this. It's I wish I could just do like 10 a day, but I'm not. I'm doing at most 2 a day, taking time. Why is the camera focus on his? Thank you. Focus on Captain Crunch and not me. Knows who the focus is. So, here's till next time. All right? We'll see how the next one is, and hopefully we can actually make it a speech. All right, say bye, Captain Crunch. Tell them patience is a virtue. Stare in their soul. Stare. That's me. Stare at the camera. Ridiculous. All right. Till next time.